Hello, and welcome back to Quantum Suicide. On the last episode, we got our new teams for bidding wars in the far left timeline, and it was basically a mess. Shizuka was off theorizing. The captain was still kind of upset about Yoshiki's death, and Vladimir was separated from his daughter, so he was going into an overprotective mode. But apparently, our default character is smart enough to kind of handle that situation, luckily. And it's currently the morning after, and we're about to have breakfast. So with that, let's see how we go. They disappeared last night. I said Melody slept in Katashi's quarters and had fun. Well, that's good news, I suppose.
So you're saying we're likely to hit the most dangerous point right when Dai will drag us back into playing this new game?
Yeah, so that also reminded me, I and the captain are talking about the black hole.
Yes, that is correct.
I'm not even surprised. Thank you, Ai.
Shizuka arrived and was carrying a cake.
Sorry, I'm not good at food, and I didn't know what else to do.
I mean, that's fair, I guess. You know, cake is something to begin with. She put the cake down, and I saw it had been sliced into 4 large pieces. Shizuka served us one piece each, and then reached into her pockets. She had 4 apples, and then passed them around.
Apples! Because, they're good for you, and come with the added benefit of being ready to serve off the tree.
And to keep doctors away, so we're going to be safe from the twins.
Melody had better be eating better than this.
I mean, she actually has the chef, so... yeah, she's on the team with the cook. The captain picked up her fork, looking at her giant slice of cake. The slice was so large, it was difficult to decide where to begin with. She put a fork back down and picked up the apple.
Thank you for volunteering to arrange breakfast, Shizuka.
Shizuka sat down. Actually, do you eat cake with a spoon or a fork? I with a fork, because then if it falls apart, you can just stab into it and kind of scoop it up as well.
I did the best I could. Sorry it's not up to Katashi's standards.
I mean, if it was up to Katashi's standards, then we wouldn't need Katashi. Cake wasn't a breakfast food I was familiar with, but it sure was a delicious one. I didn't cook, so I have no complaints, thanks Shizuka. Shizuka beamed with pride and started digging into her cake. After the breakfast and a shower, I went back to my quarters. Getting properly dressed meant picking up the pocket watch again and looking at it. It was so old. Or at least old-fashioned. It didn't move, or it didn't seem to work, but I liked to keep it with me anyway. I needed to work out what it was for. I forgot we don't know what it is in this timeline. If I could really allow interdimensional travel, the possibilities were endless. I decided to show it to one of my team. The captain might know what my parents were researching. Her mother was the previous captain after all. But Vladimir actually knew my parents, and he was a scientist. Then again, he was also very distracted. Shizuka's good at games and puzzles, and watches all kind of and the watches was a kind of puzzle. Maybe she was able to figure out how it worked. I'm going to show it to Shizuka, actually. I looked at my tablet and see where Shizuka was. It showed her in the kitchen. I hope she had more success impressing the team with her cooking. After all, she had volunteered her time and effort, and that deserves some credit. Arriving at the kitchen, I discovered a disaster in progress. Shizuka's face was covered in flour, along with most of the kitchen. Her hands were stained to different shades of brown, and all sticky from whatever she'd spilled on them. There was a glistening, sticky patch of the surface on the floor too. Hi Shizuka, what are you making?
I'm not sure yet.
So you're making a mess.
In games, I usually just mix ingredients until it works. Then you learn the recipe and it's just automatic after.
Really? And you're our team's chef. Okay. Can you swap with Vladimir? Guess it's not like that in real life.
I've watched Katashi like 1,000,000 times before. I can do this.
It's not the same thing. Concerned that we might end up with raw flour and sticky sauce for dinner, I want my help. Do you need any help?
No. You'll just mess up my system.
Your system already seems to be messed up. There's a system? Shizuka stopped staring at her mixture and looked at me.
Of course there's a system.
I don't think there is. Okay, listen. Can you go wash your hands? There's something I want you to look at. I wanted to show her the pocket watch, and not with her hands like they were. Shizuka washed her hands in the sink, but held out a clean palm. Then held out a clean palm.
All clean. Gimme.
No, it's mine. I get the pocket watch out and give it to her. I found this in my parents' research. It definitely had something to do with their work, but I'm not sure how.
So it's got something to do with physics? Doesn't look like it.
What do you think? What do you think? Looking at it, how would it work for interdimensional travel? And if it were a video game, would this item be important? Let's go with this video game logic. Shizuka examined the watch very closely. She looked at the face and tapped it a few times, frowning.
If this was a video game, I think this would definitely be an important item. Maybe even a main quest item. But you received it early in the game, and you might not know what it is or how it works until you get more information.
Okay, so basically, you're telling us what we already know. Well, that's not overly helpful.
No, but it means this watch is important.
We knew that already.
You just need to keep playing to find out why. You need to finish all the prior quests.
Basically, we have to finish all the timelines. What quests? Shizuka blushed and turned away from me.
I don't know. This isn't my game. It's yours.
Haha, well, the main character sucks to be you, Shizuka. Shizuka handed back the watch.
Sorry I can't help more.
Well, you're cooking dinner. That's helpful. Helping.
I'm glad you think so. I doubt Vladimir does.
I mean, you did serve us cake for breakfast. He's under a lot of stress right now.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's extra low for Dai to do this.
I mean, again, why are we surprised?
Not that she's a delight normally, but this just feels extra cruel.
Yeah, I don't know why this timeline makes her more evil. Yeah, I hope Melody will be alright.
Katashi will take good care of her. And I think Nicholas has a secret soft spot for her.
It was supposed to be secret? At least we know she'll have a doctor if she gets sick.
But she's missing out on my experimental food creations.
Oh no, the concern. We should definitely go and try and give her more food. We should not do that. You will end up poisoning the child. Katashi wouldn't give her a breakfast cake.
Exactly! I'm clearly where the fun is.
I think you find I'm where the fun is. Shizuka had cooking to get on with, and since she didn't have any insights on the watch, I felt somewhat disheartened. I decided to go back to my quarters. It was about time I called Ai, so we could talk about Dai and her programming. I sat on the bed and with the papers and the tablet sprawled across the bed. Nothing. Still nothing. This is so frustrating. Okay, I need to calm down. Getting angry isn't going to solve anything. I threw myself back into the bed and stared at the ceiling for a long time before I suddenly bathed in the warm glow of Ai's holographic interface.
I am sorry to interrupt.
No, if anything, you came at the right time. Don't worry about it, Ai. You weren't interrupting anything. What's up?
I found some more information that may be useful against Dai.
That's wonderful. What is it?
I've discovered that it's possible to input the deactivation code into any terminal, including your personal tablets.
Okay, so again, just relearning what we already know. Do you know anything else about the deactivation code? I shook her head.
Unfortunately, I didn't learn anything else. I tried to access more information, but even with my administrator privileges, I was unable to proceed any further.
That's unfortunate. Well, at least we know where we can input the code once we know what it is.
I am glad you are pleased.
It isn't perfect, but it's a step in the right direction.
I must return to my duties.
Okay, have fun. Of course, thank you for the update, I bowed and faded out of my quarters. Deactivated from any tablet or terminal. Huh. At least now I knew that I wouldn't need a higher clearance level. I'm probably going to have to dig up some information on Ayumu if I want it to work out this code. There was no help for it now, though. The captain was on the other team off limits during this round. No. No, the captain is not. The captain's on our team. I return my attention to the watch. Okay, pull yourself together. You can work this out. I sifted through my parents' papers and the tablets to see if there's anything missing. After a surprisingly restful night, I woke up Wednesday morning feeling refreshed. My conversation with I had given me a sense of purpose. I decided to go to that dining hall. Cake breakfast? In my enthusiasm to get that day going, I left my tablet in my quarters. I'd forgotten to look at it and to see who was where. I'd have to just walk around the dining hall and see if someone from the other team was in there. I'd walk back out and not saying anything. I needn't be worried. Vladimir was in there alone. He was reading it from his tablet, with a cup of coffee beside him. He looked like a father on a leisurely Sunday morning. Not my father, of course, but the way I imagine most fathers were. Good morning, Vladimir. You look relaxed.
Hello. I wouldn't say I'm relaxed, but I'm not as stressed as I have been.
Why so? That's great. Did I report about Melody?
She did. Apparently, she's been drawing a lot, and she's very excited because she's going to be helping Nicholas today.
Hooray! Helping him with what?
Well, nobody's in need of surgery, so thankfully that isn't an option.
Well, we don't know how badly the other team has injured themselves. Ha.
He'll probably get her to count something or sort things. That's what I do when she comes to the lab with me.
Okay, then, that's smart. Either way, I'm sure she'll be very helpful. Vladimir smiles, but I could see from his eyes that there was something of an effort for him. Where are Shizuka and the captain? Have you seen them today? Vladimir explained that Shizuka was in the kitchen and the captain hadn't come up for breakfast just yet, which he noted was odd since she's normally an early riser. She's grieving.
That is most likely, so I'm not too worried. She needs her space and some time.
Well, we're about to go towards a wormhole, a black hole. Clearly, Vladimir was as okay as he could be under the circumstances. I wanted to check on the rest of my team. Shizuka was right nearby, but I wasn't concerned about her too much. On the other hand, the captain wasn't well, but I'd have to go searching for her. Let's look for the captain. The obvious place to look for the captain was her quarters. I pressed the button on her intercom.
Come in.
Her croaky voice didn't manage to call out very loudly, but I managed to hear it. And the fit of coughing that followed. Did you get ill? I'm assuming it's supposed to be like an eye, but I let myself in and found her sitting on the edge of the bed. She was half dressed and looked like she was halfway through the process of putting up her hair up. Are you alright?
I'm fine.
I don't think you are. She didn't look fine. She was pale and a sweaty sheen all over. Her eyes weren't focused on my face.
Excuse my disheveled look. I'll be ready and back to work very soon.
That's okay, you can take as long as you need to. Still looking like The Walking Dead, the captain stood up, but before she could take a whole step, she collapsed. I tried to catch her before she hit the floor, but I was too slow. I rushed over to her. Captain? Kimiko? She didn't respond. I felt her cheek on her forehead and with the back of my hand. Her skin looked pale, but she was very warm. I checked her pulse, fast, but starting to slow. Aye.
Yes? How can I assist you?
Is the captain okay? The captain is sick. I need to get her to the medical bay.
Indeed. Have you checked her vitals?
No. As much as I can in here. Nicholas and Beatrix aren't allowed to talk to us, so I need you to help me treat her.
Of course.
Is the medic bay empty?
Yes. Nicholas and Beatrix are elsewhere.
Just casually saying elsewhere is not very helpful. I picked up the captain, careful not to jolt her too much, in case she'd hit her head when she'd fallen. She'd hit the ground very heavily.
Take her to the medic bay. I will notify Team B that the area is out of bounds and that they must not interfere.
Thanks, I. That is smart and useful. I grabbed her jacket and carried the captain through the empty corridors into the medic bay. Still being careful with her, I got her lying down on the bed and made sure she was comfortable. There were a lot of elements to the monitoring equipment, and I didn't know how else to arrange things to check her vitals. Thankfully, I reappeared as I was looking for the
None of
dials.
Team B will come here.
Well, that's what you think. Thank you. Can you tell me how this all works? What do I do?
Many of the vitals will be automatically measured once the diagnostic bed is on. However, that band should be placed around the arm.
I did as I told me, turning the dials and then switching on the machine. Okay, I see a lot of numbers. That's a pulse rate and a temperature, right?
Correct. It appears the captain has a minor chest infection.
How? So it's not serious?
It is not a dangerous pathogen. I hypothesize that it is weak enough for the average immune system to fight. It's possible that it has been in her system for some time, and her recent stress has reduced her immune responses.
Stress can do that?
It can.
Huh?
I turned back to look at the captain properly. She'd woken up and was looking around the room, trying to get her bearings. She saw her jacket on the bench at the bed, and swiftly put it on.
What happened?
You collapsed. I think you're running down and stressed. I think you are run down and stressed, and it made you sick but it's not
I
serious.
can't be sick. I need to...
You don't need to do anything. You need to rest.
Okay, I'm sick. But why are you here? You're not a doctor.
Because the other doctors can't do anything. I'm not a doctor, but I can follow instructions. I was there when you relaxed. Cool. It figures that when someone needs a doctor, they both be on the other team. Irony at its finest. The captain smiled weakly. Sorry, I'm not a doctor. I would be really handy. It would be really handy right now. But I gives excellent instructions, so I was an okay medic for today.
What's wrong with me?
You have a severe case of baby voice, clearly. Just a little infection. That's why you've been coughing. Nothing serious. You really just need to rest.
I don't have time for that.
You are not the captain. I am. You'll have to make time. Kimiko smiled warmly. I'll leave you to get some rest, but if you need anything, summon I and ask her to get me.
Okay.
I let her lie back down and close her eyes, and then headed to the door. Yeah?
Thank you. Really. It means...
Cool. That was me who skipped the voice line. Didn't really care for much. I decided to go back to my quarters and organize my thoughts. There was just too much going on. The watch, the new deletion game, and die with the personal struggles of the crew. I needed to think about it all. I was almost back in my own room when I came across Vladimir. He was pacing back and forth in the hallway, muttering in Russian. What's wrong with his Melody?
I says she had to get a band-aid put on her knee.
Oh no, she tripped, Vladimir. Was she hurt badly? Band-aids don't sound like that much to worry about.
She tripped and fell in the eco lounge. I says she cried and kept asking for me.
The little scrape on the knee wasn't such a big deal, but it must have been hard to know his child was wanting him and he couldn't go to her. I'm sorry, Vladimir. This must be hard. Is it just her knee?
I don't know. I can't know.
I mean, you can know if I tells you. Was I worried?
I doesn't know what's worth worrying about.
Rude. I just meant that it's the only. If it was only scraped knee, it should be alright. She's safe.
I don't know that. How did she fall? Was anyone watching her? How do I know they're looking after her properly?
Okay, I see what's going on here. You are going to be an issue. I know you're worried, but it sounds like...
This game is ridiculous, and this whole situation is just stupid.
You are correct, but acting worse is going to make it worse. I was about to answer him, but he wasn't interested in hearing me. He just made a disgusted sound and marched away from me. Vladimir is going to cause problems.
Good morning!
not this
Rise
again.
and shine, kids! This is your friendly neighborhood AI requesting you all be in the dining room within half an hour or face the consequences.
So this is someone else triggering the event.
I repeat, we are ready. All systems are go. This is not a drill. Get to the dining room in 29 minutes and 25 seconds.
What? Where was I and what was happening? I've been asleep, fast asleep, and fairly peaceful for once. No spinning clocks. No Di laughing as she killed me. Di, what was going on? Di's voice had woken me up as it screeched into out of the intercom. I turned on the light and I could see the time. Yep. So someone spoke to the other team. 3:25 a.m. Seriously, I managed to drag myself out of bed and start the confusing process of getting dressed in the middle of the night. Kept myself thinking about my sleep and trying to figure out what we were all being summoned for. It couldn't be the deletion game because that wasn't scheduled to start playing until Sunday. I might have suddenly changed the rules, but she hadn't done that before. Unless it was because someone had broken the rule, but who would have done that? We didn't even know what the punishment was, so why risk it? Oh no. I remember Vladimir his angry outburst and his declaration that the situation was stupid. Maybe he'd broken the rule by talking to Melody, which would be the punishment there for that. And surely Di wouldn't punish Melody, she's just a child. Di had given us half an hour to get to the dining hall, but I didn't want to didn't want to risk being late, or even the last person to arrive. Attracting Di's attention was the last thing I wanted to do. The second I was dressed, I had hurried outside. On my way to the dining hall, I saw the captain. She was still sick and not moving very fast, but as I came up beside her, she at least looked awake and alert. How are you feeling?
Quite healthy. Until Di woke me. What do you think is happening?
Someone broke the rules. My guess is that someone broke the no communication rule and spoke to someone on the other team. My money's on Vladimir.
Yes, I have to agree.
Is that why it's going to be Shizuka? We walked to the dining hall together, and when we got there, Vladimir and Shizuka were already sitting down. On the other side of the table, the twins hadn't shown up yet, but Katashi and Melody were there. So, yep, it's 50-50. Katashi was trying to comfort Melody, who was sobbing into his armpit.
Your dad is right over there, see? He's okay.
What happened?
I couldn't handle it. I had to see her.
You broke the rules. God damn it, Vladimir.
Don't beat yourself up. I don't think you were supposed to handle it.
It took that Melody couldn't even be with Dad while Di made the punishment announcement, but at least Katashi was there. He looked barely conscious, but he was there. The door opened and Nicholas and Beatrix came in together.
Forget Di's stupid games. I will personally execute whoever's responsible for this.
Vladimir, I'm not even going to defend you. Di appeared and as though summoned by Beatrix's sight.
My games? Stupid. How dare you?
I mean, they're kind of fun in a stupid way. Di's attitude quickly shifted to interest.
That being said, I am interested to watch you execute someone. How will you do it, Trixie?
With her bare hands.
Tisk.
I bet you are a strangler. Are you, Trixie? A strangler?
Yeah, I'd put money on that.
Let's just sit down and get this over with.
Beatrix glared at the room, lingering on Vladimir. He impassively stared back.
As I'm sure you are already aware, the rule forbidding communication between teams has been broken, which is why you've all been summoned here this morning.
Hooray!
This isn't fair!
All the rules were clearly explained, and an opportunity was given to ask for repeats and clarifications. What's not fair about that?
I mean, clearly explained is a bit of an exaggeration. You like to keep things vague, just so you can twist things.
Separating a child and her father isn't fair.
Ah, yes, but life is not fair. Fate. She is a cruel mistress.
Yep.
Oh, hey, what do you know? So am I!
Nope.
But sometimes I can be generous, and so, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, or this morning, or whatever this is, I present to you, courtesy of the rule-breaking Vladimir, the punishment. That's right, you get a punishment.
Di pointed at Vladimir. She stood still for a moment before continuing.
And you get a punishment.
Di pointed at Kimiko.
And you get a punishment.
Di pointed at me.
Everybody gets a punishment.
Hooray.
What?
Congratulations to all our winners.
But we didn't break the rules. That's not fair.
I mean, it's a team game.
I'm hearing that word a lot today. Fair this, fair that. Wah, wah. It's kind of a drag. Really ruins the tone of this whole event.
You can't punish everyone just because one person broke the rules.
Yeah, you can.
Trixie dear, I can punish whoever I want, whenever I want.
I mean, technically true, but there wouldn't be a game, would it?
Secondly, the punishment has to be applied to everyone because this is a team game.
Then punish the team that broke the rules.
Yep.
I will. And also the other team. I don't know what all this fuss is about. It's actually a pretty fun punishment. If I was you, I would be dying with anticipation for this.
Play the game daily now.
And the exciting event is coming to you live right here, right now. It's...
The room felt completely silent as we waited with bated breath.
the deletion game!
Hooray! Di spread her arms theatrically as she made her declaration. The room remained silent.
What?
But we're not ready. We haven't had time to prepare.
So, it's no skin off my nose.
You don't have a nose or skin.
But don't you want the game to be interesting? 8 tired people doing the first thing they can think of won't be very exciting.
Yeah, she made that point last time, right? I considered this for a few moments.
Good point. This is why you're the captain.
But she's not the captain.
I will allow you 10 minutes for strategy meetings. Team A stays here. Team B will meet in the kitchen.
But
Disperse!
Team B got out of their seats and the file past us, slow and slouching. We all sat in silence, struggling to wake up, let alone handle the situation. It wasn't long before a diary appeared and asked us for a first point allocation. Sure, we'll balance it all out.
Is everyone in agreement?
Vladimir says yes. She's going to say yes. Okay, let's go with this.
Thank you for your entry. Please exit the dining hall so that stinky Team B can assign their points.
We quickly shuffled out of the dining hall and Team B entered for their turn. After a few tense minutes, Team B in the dining hall followed.
Wonderful start to the betting wars. Both teams are fighting hard. Now let's see the results of round 1. If you would be so kind as to draw your attention to this screen.
Di projected a screen in the same light she was made of.
And the winner of round 1 is...
Team A.
It was a close one,
Oh, Team B.
but Team B is leading the charge.
8 to 7, yeah.
Let's move on to round 2. Team A, you are up again. Please follow me.
Di appeared to walk through the wall, and thus we made our way back into the dining hall.
Your 5 minutes starts now.
Okay, we're losing. But we still have 2 battles left. So we're still in this.
Oh no, we're already losing. I'm going to kill someone.
Get a hold of yourself! There are still 2 opportunities for us to turn this around. My suggestions are...
There we go. Input the allocation.
Thank you for your entry. Please exit the dining hall so that stinky Team B, if you would be so kind. And the
Tie, win, lose.
Maybe I put the money on the wrong horse here. Tisk tisk.
Guys, we are losing.
Oh yeah, but we're only 1 space behind.
I know. I am thinking.
Let's move on to round 3 then. Team A, you are up again.
We'll do the
Please
final
follow me.
round, and then we'll end it there. Cool.
Your 5 minutes.
Guys?
I know.
Cool. I don't.
Here are my
die.
suggestions.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's. Well, I gotta tell you, this is very disappointing. I expected great things out of you.
That's unfortunate. I guess we're gonna get executed in the next episode. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully I can see you around with that. Goodbye.